The bad manners
Monster.
monsters and the kindness keys. We love this story. Oh, there's Auntie Judy. Hi, Judy. That's Judy. There she is. There's lots of Judy. It was a dangerous job, but somebody had to do it. What are their names? Do you remember? Is that Zach? And who's that? Do you remember? Is it Zoe?
Yeah.
Zach and Zoe, professional bad manners busters, and they were on a new case. They looked around the town. Oh no, moaned Zoe. They're here. Time for action. Everywhere they looked, Zach and Zoe saw trouble. The bad manners monsters were at work. Look, Zoe exclaimed. That little girl is whining. What a bad temper she has. Whiny Rhino must be somewhere. Where's Rhino? There he is. He's behind the ladder. This is slide. Yes, Zoe was right. And just then, Whiny Rhino poked his head out from under the slide. And there he is. Hey, check out that bully, cried Zoe. He's so mean. Grouchy Rouchy's got to be nearby. You're right, Zach agreed. Look behind the tree. Can you show me where Grouchy Rouchy is? There he is. Is he a nice person?
No, grumpy.
Grumpy, that's right. Zoe, look, said Zach. That girl just littered. Why would she do that? Who's this?
Missy Bessie.
Yeah, because Messy Bessie is there, replied Zoe. She makes people not care. Zach and Zoe turned the corner. Gross, Zoe exclaimed. That's disgusting. Doesn't that kid know you're supposed to chew with your mouth closed? What's this monster's name?
Slowly.
Slobberoo. That's right.
Oh.
Almost like an octopus, kind of, isn't he? He's awful. He's very rude. Hey, what's going on at that school? Those kids are completely out of control, cried Zoe. It's Wiggly Jiggly for sure. And just then, Zach and Zoe saw a brother and sister fighting over a toy. Oh no, groaned Zoe. Grabba Jabba's here too. He loves it when people are greedy and selfish and they take things that don't belong to them. This town needs our help, said Zoe. Why did they let the bad manners monsters take over? Let's go, Mom and Dad, said Zach. It's time to bust the bad manners monsters. Meanwhile, down at City Hall, anxious parents, teachers, and business leaders were concerned about the bad behavior in town. Why is everyone so rude? Asked a teacher. My students are always interrupting and not paying attention. Why are my children so messy and ungrateful? Asked a mother. Well, Zach and Zoe rushed into City Hall with their parents. Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, they cried. Not now, kids, said the mayor. Our town is in big trouble. Yes, we know, and we can help, exclaimed Zoe. Who are you? Asked the police chief. We're the bad manners busters, replied Zach. Hang on. We track the bad manners monsters and help you capture and lock them up. The bad manners monsters, who are they? Yes, the bad manners monsters. They've invaded your town because people have forgotten to be kind. And if you don't catch them when they're little, they get bigger and stronger, added Zach. That's why so many people have become grouchy and whiny and wiggly and grabby and very messy. And did I miss one? Slobby. Yep. This is terrible, moaned the bear. How do we get rid of them? Well, our parents taught us there's only one way, said Zoe, and it starts in the heart. A kind heart leads to good attitudes, words, and actions. Then people will have good manners. Good manners, said the police chief. That makes sense, said the mayor. I remember when we used to have good manners. Things were more civil and people were more friendly. You're right, said the police chief. So how do we capture the bad manners monsters? What are these?
Golden keys.
Golden keys. The attitude keys are right. Attitude keys. There's the kind word keys and the kind action keys. Do you like keys, Benji?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the bad manners monsters can't stand them. So these golden keys remind me of the golden rule, said the mayor. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Yeah. Yeah, said Zach. The kindness keys will remind everyone to be nice. Come on, everyone. Let's go get the monsters. That's great.
Oh.
Who's that?
Grouchy Rouchy.
Grouchy Rouchy. Let's start with the kind attitude key, said Zoe. A good attitude makes the other keys work. A teacher shared the kind attitude key with her students, and before long, everyone was friendly and kind. And suddenly, Grouchy Rouchy leapt from behind a tree and growled, I hate good attitudes. And just then a huge key grabbed Grouchy, and a boy rushed over with his kind attitude key and locked him up. We caught him, cheered the crowd. Kids, as the police chief dragged Grouchy off to the town jail. Let's get the rest of the monsters, said the mayor. The kind word key. The second key, explained Zach, is the kind words key. You mean phrases like please and thank you. Precisely, said Zoe as she passed on the kind word keys. Soon children began to say please and thank you, and when they asked for something and parents and teachers replied, you're welcome.
Sing.
You want to sing it? Yeah, shoppers said excuse me when they bumped into someone, and people said, I'm sorry, will you forgive me when they did something wrong? All these kind words made Rhino Rhino explode. Stop it, he screamed. No more kind words. And suddenly another chain grabbed Whiny Rhino quickly. The kids ran over with their kind words key and locked him up. Hooray, everyone cheered as the police chief dragged Whiny Rhino off to jail. No more mean words. Good job, team, congratulated Zach. Now let's use the kind actions key. And as the kind action keys were passed around, brothers and sisters began sharing their toys, and neighbors greeted each other on the street. They'd say hello. And at that moment, Grabba Jabba flew through town in a flurry. Stop it, he yelled. No more sharing. But everyone ignored him. Frustrated, Grabba Jabba tried to run away, but a chain grabbed him, and the kids eagerly locked him up with another kind actions key. Then everyone started cleaning up the town, and they picked up their litter, and they cleaned their messy bedrooms, and even washed the dirty dishes. Suddenly, Messy Bessie was swept out the door. I don't like tidy rooms, she said as the chain grabbed her, and then the children quickly turned the kind action keys in her lock. The town was becoming more pleasant, and even meal times were more fun. Children chewed their food politely, and they had good conversation, and even remembered to thank their parents for a delicious dinner. Uh-oh. Suddenly, Slobberoo leapt up from under the table. No more good manners, he roared. I can't stand it. The children watched in amazement as a chain ensnared the monster. And then they quickly turned the kind action keys firmly into the lock. At school, the children began using their kind action keys, and this helped them pay attention and become more respectful. Which one's that one? Is that Wiggly Jiggly?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was furious. She couldn't get the students to be disrupted. She couldn't get them to be disruptive anymore. And before she could run away, a large chain grabbed her and took her to jail with all the other bad manners monsters. The bad manners monsters growled as they rattled their cage, and Zach and Zoe counted the monsters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great job, we caught them all. Hooray! Everyone cheered. The kindness keys really work. Well done, everyone, said the mayor. Good manners make good citizens, and that makes our town safer. And more fun, too, said a girl. Just then, the bad manners monsters began to shrink. Look, they're getting smaller, exclaimed a parent. That's right, said Zoe. The kindness keys drain the monsters of their power, but they are sneaky and will try to come back. So remember to guard your heart and hang on to your kindness keys. Oh, thank you, said the mayor. You helped us capture the bad manners monsters. You're welcome, replied Zoe. Now you are all bad manners busters too. Another case closed, said Zach. We did it. Great teamwork, everyone. No more grouchy, whiny, wiggly, grabby, slobby, or messy monsters. The people of the town waved their kindness keys as Zach and Zoe smiled and headed off on their next adventure. The end. Can you say the end?
The end.
The end. These keys really work. Have fun using them to catch up the bad manners monsters in your town.
Mom.
Okay. And where's Messy Bessie? She's hiding. Is this her? Drops the litter?
Yeah.
Where's Zach and Zoe? There they are.